I'm here at London Real Studios, and it's time to talk about what we read. And this is every week, and it's a book that I'm reading, the team here is reading, and all of the people over at London Real or Academy is reading through. And this is a special one because I'm a huge fan of this book, and I had the pleasure of meeting the author about a week ago at the Masterminds Talks in San Francisco, and I was so excited and blown away. I didn't know he was going to be there, and without any further ado, I will let you know. The book is called Hooked. The author is Nir Eyal, and it's just an amazing and fascinating peek into what moves our human brain and what causes us to use so many of the now familiar, social media tools such as Twitter and Facebook, and some of the intricacies of email and why we go back and exhibit certain behavior patterns over and over again, and how you can actually design them yourselves. And if you don't know how this works, then you're going to have a hard time really selling or understanding any product, especially online these days, because so many of these steps in this book are now almost frictionless or immediate. And some of the big ones that he covers are ones that you kind of need to know. And the first one is trigger. What causes you to want to do something, to want to look up something, to want to take an action? Then there's, of course, the action. And one of my most favorite and fascinating parts after that is called the variable reward. And this is the one that's really most counterintuitive for me, and the one that I really had to think about, because you would think that if there was always a very positive reward at the end of, say, a trigger or an action. For example, say I knew if I came over to your house, you always gave me a big slice of chocolate cake. Gluten-free, of course. Then you would think that I would always be coming over and couldn't wait to get the chocolate cake. But if it turns out that if, in fact, some days you punch me in the grill and other days you ignore me, and then the other ones you give me that chocolate cake, then that's actually more addictive for me as a human. So that's a really interesting point, and you should think about your products, maybe some of your relationships that are built around this. I'll never forget a 60 Minutes interview and kind of an online or television article they did about the gambling industry in Las Vegas. And I think it was Leslie Stahl, love Leslie, by the way. She was there, and she was looking at these slot machines where people would put like money on credit, and they would get these like micro rewards. They would win like 30 cents here and 20 cents here and $1.20 here, or lose $1 there. And she was like, and all these lights were buzzing and all these things were happening. And it was these dopamine receptors in your brain that Nir talks about in here. And that whole concept of variable reward. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. So as our little monkey brains, we're just kind of curious and fascinated by that. And this affects a lot of our behavior, more than you think. And this is where I find Nir's work to be super fascinating. And it's funny, at the Masterminds talk, he says that he's dealt with his own issues of being hooked with a lot of social media and online everything. And email, funny enough, is one of the oldest enemies or perpetrators of this piece, whether it was by design or not. But if you think about your email, you go and check your box because your brain is looking for some dopamine, and you get variable rewards. Sometimes you get spam. Sometimes you get great news from a long-lost friend. Sometimes you get bad news, like, oh, this is your credit card and it's been like frozen. So we're actually addicted to this loop, and we're constantly going in to check, check, check. And if you look at that, Twitter is an iteration of that. Facebook is as well. And so if you can understand these products, then you can maybe design them more and use them better in your life, or choose not to use them. The final part in here is called investment, and that's kind of interesting when you go and actually spend time with someone. And quite honestly, London Real has a lot of those aspects too, because, what's the trigger? Maybe you heard about something, or we tweeted out something, or you see a trailer, and then there's an action which is coming to watch it. Hopefully it's fairly frictionless for you. Then there is the investment as well, when you spend time, with me, talking to a guest, that kind of thing. And then the question is, can we continue that loop along to where there's another trigger the next time you see a guest and stuff? So it's something I've thought about a lot. And Nir is a really good public speaker, a fascinating dude. I think we're going to see a lot of great things from him in the future. So please pick up a copy of this book. I also have it on Audible. I love listening to things. Check it out. And if you're in the London Real Academy, then there's an action item for this book as well. So just head over there and check out that video. What I want you to do is do a specific piece that's going to help you get to the goals that we talked about in the webinar last week. And we had an amazing webinar. It was like an hour and 40 minutes long that I talked about how to start something. We had people from all over the world show up. There was like hundreds of comments, and it was just a lot of fun. So I'm loving our really tight, I call it a action-oriented, loving, vulnerable community over at the Academy that we just want to get better, and we want to make sure everyone gets better with us. It's almost like all the best stuff of London Real in a tight group. We got a sick social network over there. It's almost better than Facebook. You can friend people. You can post comments. There's a wall. You can chat with me. You know, all of that stuff happens over there. You can post videos, and there's so many things. There's the book club. You can watch shows live. There's my webinars. We have coursework. We have everything. Success secrets, special content you don't get on London Real, bonus content from our guests, and much, much more is coming, including some more exclusive courses. So come over there and check it out. In the meantime, please click on the subscribe button if you haven't. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think of Hooked, if you liked it, if you didn't, and let me know the book you want me to review next week. And there you go. You're going to see this beautiful studio with the vertically mounted typewriters, right? How dope is that, right? Those are all old, classic, ancient kind of, British typewriters. And of course, Winston the dog on the floor. You're going to see all those coming very soon when we start releasing the episodes that I've taped in here coming up very soon. So check that out. Become part of the list. Go VIP, go to our website and get on the email so you get the episodes hours before anyone else does. So there you go. That's it. Big love going out to Nir Eyal of Hooked, and we'll see you on the other side.